There we go. Hello, everyone, to people just joining, to people who have been waiting, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this. Hello, welcome back to another stream, and welcome back to Game Dev Friday. Now, last week, after some oversights on my part from like the previous Game Dev stream before that, we removed basically the whole of basically this lower part of the leg, redid it all, and in order to fix like the issues that were happening with the bend, because like how I did it on the rat character was completely different, and I was getting myself all mixed up and all that jazz, and that wasn't really helpful. So yeah, no, silly thing that I did. But yeah, no, we sorted that out. Also sorted out all the weight painting, made sure that was all sort of working properly. And there was a thing that I sorted out like earlier on outside of stream. So if I go into pose mode, I'm also going to set some music. I'm trying to find out what the hell I want today. I might just throw on fighting game music for like 2 hours, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, no. So in terms of like the hierarchy of the armature, because of course like it's important to know what bones are parented to what bones tend to be the children of different bones. So like this upper arm bone is the parent of this lower arm bone, and what was supposed to happen is this was supposed to be like the parent of this bone. However, because of some oversight that I had with when I was setting up the IK controller for the arm, I believe, yeah, it was setting up the IK. For some reason, instead of this being the child of this bone, this was a child of this bone, which obviously meant that if I was to, like, if I moved the arm, there would be, like, in parts, some very weird stretching going on. Also, when I was trying to rotate it with the, like, the target pole, like, it would rotate the whole of the arm except for the hand, and it would also rotate the thumb, because that was still, like, a child of this. It was the child of this bone, but, you know, wasn't a child, this wasn't a child of that bone, so it wouldn't rotate the hand, like the main part of the hand, it would rotate the thumb, and that would look very weird. And it's basically universal on this side as well, because, you know, I followed the same rules, essentially, like, copying, like, mirroring the armature on both sides meant that anything that I did with the bones and their parenting was mirrored on both sides. So, as a result of that, that caused those problems. So, quick fix, basically reparent the hand so that it was the bone for the hand so that it was a child of this bone. Same goes for the one on the other side. And a similar problem, I noticed, happened with the bones on the feet and the legs. Because, for some reason, this foot bone was this chain of foot bones, so this foot bone and then this foot bone, like this one parented to, or this one being the child of this one, were both parented to the IK on both feet. So I had to reparent this bone to this bone to make sure that, you know, the hierarchy was established properly. So I sorted that out. Another thing that I finally managed to sort out, and I don't know what I did differently compared to the last time, but I managed to finally sort out the issue of having this moving along with this, because for the longest time, because there was no weight painting applied to basically the quiff, whatever, however the hell you pronounce it, of the helmet, it would essentially just stay in place. And that was a problem that I'd noticed very early on with the rat character when I was sort of trying to set it up, because there were some things that didn't have bones on that model, and there were some things that just weren't weight painted to any bones at all. So that was causing problems. But yeah, no, and I was trying to sort of get my head around, well, how am I going to try and sort this out? And I kept trying to join the objects, but it wouldn't work properly. And I don't know what I did differently joining the objects earlier, but I managed to actually get it into a state where I was actually able to properly weight paint it. So now, when I move the head, this part of the helmet actually moves along with it. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted for this. To be able to have, like, this top part stay on the helmet and move along with it. Now, one thing that I do want to try before we properly get into things, as you can see, I have the project open. It's been a while since I've opened the project, honestly, because I've been so focused on, like, doing the concepts for the enemies and then trying to, like, model the first one and do others and whatnot. So it's been quite some time. But yeah, the one thing that I want to be sure of... Oh, and hi. Hello. Anyway, the one thing I want to be sure of going forward is whether or not I can import this properly. So I've made a folder in the project for storing the enemy character model. Like, I've made basically a whole enemies folder. I'm going to categorize them by level theme, and then of course I'm going to have different folders for each enemy, because as you can tell, even though I haven't named this, I should rename this folder. This one folder has, like, all the texture and materials and stuff for our player character, the skeleton, the physics asset, the skeletal mesh, and when I was making, like, IK rigs and IK retargeters for when I was originally using retargeted animations from the mannequin from the engine. So yeah, no, but I'm making the separate folders for each model that's made so I can store everything that's related to that, except for animations, for the most part, although there's a whole animations folder anyway, because, you know, that's where the animations will be stored along with, like, animation blueprints and the like. This will just store, like, the skeletal mesh, the actual mesh, like, materials and textures and whatnot for that specific model, rather than having them all, like, thrown into, like, a singular enemies folder and being so confused, like, where does this go? Which one does this belong to? So it's my hopes to try and sort of simplify that. But yeah, no, the one thing I want to try is I want to try exporting it to make sure that this is working properly. Now, I believe in order to do this, I have to select both, but I can't remember if I have to select... Go to file, Yeah, but no, it's been a while since I've, like, exported anything from when I was doing the player animations, so... Let me think. Export as an FBX. Now... Selected objects. So only those two things. Apply transform. Oh wait, no, I had to bake animation, but do not kill bones. So I'll export it, and now I have this. Yeah, I have this folder open in my thing. It's still in the. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Learner assets. I still have this all in one folder called learning, and I feel like, I mean, I guess I am still kind of learning, but at the same time, it's not really like a learning folder anymore. So, also, I'm making sure things are coming through properly. Yeah, they're coming through properly on OBS. That's good. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, no, I was finding the folder, and then I was finding... There you are, right. Bring it in. So, skeletal mesh, import mesh, and I'm... Notice moving, multiple roots are found inside the bone hierarchy. We only support a single root bone. What do you mean? There is a single root bone. So, Just parent the bones that don't... Oh! It's the arm target. Right, okay. I'm looking, so... I need to parent... Actually, one thing I want to double check. I want to double check that this wasn't a problem that we experienced with the rat. Oh yeah, no, everything was right. So let me look. So roots, and then pelvis, everything was just thrown there. Cool. So now we know. So we have our root. Oh wait, no, that's not it. We're not. We're in edit. We need to be in edit mode. So we have our root bone, but then we do not have. For crying out loud. In my head, I'm trying to get my brain straight. So pelvis for leg target, arm target, they're all parented to the root and not to the pelvis. So if I look at the hierarchy of things in... Yeah, no, they're parented to the root. I don't know why I was getting myself confused. So arm target... Right, so select child bone, select the parent. So in this case, we want the root, keep offset, and then this, and then select this, keep offset so it remains in the same place. And now, see, it's good that I'm attempting this, because otherwise I'd get so far into, like, doing all the texturing and stuff, and I find out that, oh shit, this isn't working, because I forgot that for some reason, my hierarchy of all, like, the bones on the armature are a bit, messed up. They're all a bit muddied and whatnot. Right, so we got all that, same... Right. So that should be there. And now, if I try this again, just to make sure, yep, that was from that time. Right, let's try this again. Right, so no smoothing group, da-dee-da-dee-da. This is normal. Right, so now we have our skeletal mesh, our skeleton. We have a basic material, even though it's not, you know, textured. But that's just normal anyway, it just generates one regardless. So this is looking fine. I can't remember what my... It's in materials. It's... I think this is the one. This is the one that... Yeah, this is the temp one that I used to make sure that everything's shading properly with the PS1 material. So if I go into M underscore temp white, Let's see. Right. Save. It. Oh, good lord. That doesn't say. Wait. Oh no, it's differing, okay, but for some reason, why is the size like this? I don't remember. If I was to bring in the skeletal mesh of the player, yeah, that worked. So, did I adjust the size? No, that's not it. So, vertex absolute, which means I did something wrong when I was exporting it. Okay, or I can try re-importing it. Hold on. Asset actions. Oh, re-import, right, oh, wait, no, re-import. That's not what I mean to do. Right, I know what to do. Delete all of these. And then import a new version. But I don't know if it's like a uniform scale of 0.1 that I need to be mindful of. Or if I've done that way too small. Let's see. Okay, that is way too small. I can't remember what settings I used for you. Might be 0.3 actually. No, not quite. It's getting there. It actually might be a 0.2. I should probably also keep the skeletal mesh of the player in there so I can actually, you know, check size. So it's not that. So 0.1 makes it too small. 0.3 makes it slightly larger, but not nearly as large as it was. Is it really 0.2? Is it really a 0.2? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, that's looking more like it. That's better, right. And then... At the moment, that's kind of invisible, and that's weird. I'm trying to think. I swear, there's a way to... Ah! Ah! Anyway, that's... Enable to... This makes it visible from two sides. Oh wait, that's not the one. Materials details panel. So, there. Two-sided. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Like, it wasn't, like, a major thing. It wasn't bugging me too much, but it's just... Yeah, no. So, for all intents and purposes, this is looking okay. So now... I mean, of course, texturing needs to happen. But before I can even think about doing that, I need to properly, like, unwrap the UVs. And in order to do that, I need to mark the seams on the model. Gosh, my brain, what is wrong with me? But anyway, there is a, I'd say, kind of a unique problem that I'm actually... Wait, hold on, wait a minute. No, wait. One thing I didn't think about is because for some reason, there's like a weird funky thing going on with the player's tail. I wonder... Browser assets. I'm pretty sure it's the character texture. Two-sided. I might be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. Oh my god, the whole... Oh wait, and now I realise that there's something kind of wrong with that, because now it actually has the eye... I hope that this doesn't affect, like, the player in the game. Hold on. If you look above it at a certain angle, you can see the eyes. This is not what I want. So I may need to revisit, like, the player model and sort of adjust something. So you can't just see the eyes. But yeah, no, that's the funky stuff that was happening with the tail all sorted out, because that was weird. Also, I might be getting a bit ahead of myself here, but one thing that I do want to try and sort out eventually, because one thing that I do want to sort of adjust about the player character's texture or the model is, at the moment, he is just completely naked, which, you know, it's not too much of a problem, but I do want to give the rat a bit more character aside from, you know, he is just red. And also there's no, like, texturing for a nose or anything like that. So, because to be fair, this whole, like, completely red texture was essentially me making sure that there was something substantial to try and represent the player character rather than it just being, you know, completely blank. And now that I have something substantial for him, I do want to eventually revisit his textures. Why did I say it like that? Textures? What the fuck is wrong with me? I do want to revisit his textures. I do want to sort of touch up some details. I do want to sort of clean some things up. However, I may want to attempt, and this may be a crazy idea, I may want to attempt to rig the tail as well. Because if you look at a character like Spyro, when he's moving along in his games, his tail has some motion to it. And at the moment, this tail just kind of is there. It just hangs off at the end. It's not, like, properly, you know, in motion. There's no sort of subtle, like, wiggling or moving around, swaying, or anything like that. It's kind of lifeless, and I feel like it could add a bit more personality to the character model if I made it like that. So I definitely want to sort that out. But yes, I do want to revisit that. I want to give him some clothes as well, so he's not, you know, completely naked. I don't know if I would just want to give him a shirt and then he's just, you know, not wearing any bottoms, but that reminds me of something and I don't know why. No idea what it's reminding me of. I can't remember. Yeah, give him clothes, animate his tail, touch up some of the details, make sure that his eyeballs can't be seen from both sides. The eyebrows, I don't care. They're just like little, like, blackish rectangles on his face anyway, to give him a bit of a frown. I don't know if I want to animate his mouth. If I wanted to animate his mouth, I'd need to add bones to control, like the parts, like the upper and bottom part of his mouth. So that would require a little bit of extra work. So, you know, who knows? I also have to wonder, because at the moment, if we review both the knight and also the player character, for their hands only have a singular bone. And if I was to go into pose mode, take this, you know, rotate it, it just rotates the whole thing. Which, if I wanted the character to sort of, like, grasp something, like, I'm now realizing a flaw in how I've modeled these, is that if I wanted them to grab something, they wouldn't be able to properly grab it. It would rotate the whole hand, and I wouldn't be able to rotate just, you know, the what is supposed to be the fingers. And then the same kind of goes for the thumb. The thumb is a single bone too. So if I was to, say, rotate this, I can kind of move it, which is a lot more than the hand can kind of do at the moment. But I do want to adjust things later down the line. But that's, I guess, that's kind of a thing for, you know, the future, when I'm actually trying to polish things up a whole lot more and make it look a whole lot better. But yes, where was I? Oh yeah, trying to get the thing ready for texturing and UV unwrapping, because if we review the player character, and I should be able to still do this if I go into object mode and I go, no, wait, actually, if I go into edit mode, oh wait, no, I only want to select the model and then go into edit mode. Yeah, there we go. I also realized this thing still has the mirror modifier, so I don't know what the fuck was going on. But I need to try and mark the seams for this object, which, or for this object, I mean mark the seams for the enemy character, which, in terms of this, it wasn't too bad, because, like with the arms, you could basically... Can I... right. I don't want to create a merged face. I can't remember the... Zoom in on... That's not it. Focus view. Oh wait, why? I'm still not tabbed in. Ah! That's not what I'm talking about. There is another thing. There is another hotkey that I'm trying to remember, but I can't remember. Hold on, let me look it up, because I seriously can't remember. I'm not crazy, because I know it exists, but I just can't remember how to do it. Local area. Well, that doesn't bloody help me. Anyway, in terms of, like... Like, the pelvis, like, was that, and there's just, like, like, that would be simple enough. However, I was crazy, hey, you tell me not to do it, but at the very least you say, do it once, don't do it more than once. But, oi. But yeah, no, the conundrum that I am facing when it comes to... Wait a minute. It doesn't help that this music is playing, because part of my brain is trying to jive out the music, and the rest of it's like, come on! Focus and get the... Right. So... What was I thinking? Oh yeah, conundrum. I am facing a unique kind of conundrum with the legs on the knight, because if you look here, on the rat, we haven't done... Oh no, hi. It's not Good Friday, it's Bad Friday. I'm evil today. Eviler than usual. Oh no. Oh fuck. But yeah, no. With the rat character, we don't have anything special going on with the legs. You know, we just have the legs. We go from the top of the leg, mark the seam down the side, go to the foot, and then just you know, go from there. You know? We don't have anything different or special going with the rat cat. Oh. But yeah, no. We don't have anything special going on with the leg. However, if we go into our knight, now if you remember, we have not just like the normal leg, but also, you know, like we have the leg on its own, but we also have the rest of the leg. We have, you know, the fucking, like we have, brain. Right, so we have there's no cake to be found. I'm sorry. To be fair, it probably wouldn't be too bad to add like a little bit more. Wait, isn't this like multiple points anyway? Hold on. Select model, go into edit mode. Yeah, no, this is this is too, like, there's like a vertex in the middle. To be fair, I didn't give him ass armor. I could try, but yes, we have basically the legs up until the point of like, oh yeah, we're getting down to the foot, and then, or to the base of the foot, and then we have the boots, which sit on top of this, and then forms the rest of the foot. And my problem, how am I going to properly mark it and then mark the other one? I feel like in order to do this properly, I would have to take the boots off of the character, move them down briefly, mark the normal part of the leg, and then mark the boots, like mark the seams on the boots separately, and then move them back up. So, like, I feel like that's going to have to be my approach when it comes to these legs. But I also realize, because of how I had to do things with the weight painting, I had to stop applying I had to apply the mirror modifier, which means I can't, you know, mark the seam on, you know, a single side and have it be reflected on both sides. I have to do the whole thing, unless I can sort out the weight painting. How lovely, and not all convoluted. Let me think. I have just completely slowed my brain down. I'm sorry. Right, that's it. That's the one. But yeah, no. Because when I did the... My issue is that when I did the weight painting for the for the player character, I didn't have the problems. However, this time I did, and it is incredibly infuriating because it's now led to all these other problems. So I need to visualize it. I need to visualize it. Give me one moment. I need to organize my desk because it's a bit of a mess. Everything is just scuffed. And I try to, avoid that. And also, it's been a while since I've used my drawing tablet. So it's all dusty. Ugh, heavens. Right, I'm gonna have to open the tab for Clip Studio. So everything's gonna be blank at the moment. Because I need to visualize things so my brain doesn't explode. Let's see. So I don't want my brain to explode. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that when we were designing the dragon enemy. Anyway, gonna make a new thing. Right. So what is supposed to happen when I was weight painting? So for example, let's just make a funny little like round sphere. I get the feeling that I need to sort out oh yeah, no, I do. Hold on. Because I hadn't sorted out my settings for my drawing tablet since I uninstalled and reinstalled drivers again. Mapping, and it's mapped to the entire screen rather than like just... Yeah, there we go. Right, that should be a whole lot better now. Much better, much better. Anyway, let me restart that from the start because, so let's say we have, like, I'm gonna do the dotted line, to represent the mirror modifier. So let's say we have, like, a weird sort of, like, round orby kind of, like, character, and that is mirrored on this side using the mirror modifier. Now, what was supposed to happen when I was weight painting is that if I was to weight paint with, say, the leg bone, for example, what was supposed to happen is that, one, it would weight paint for that bone on that leg, but with the mirror modifier, the corresponding bone on the opposite side would paint the leg on that side. So, for example, for the left leg, if we were to paint this, it would paint this one, and then automatically, the right bone on the right leg would paint its own leg and assign it to that leg. Now, for some reason, what happened is that when I was attempting to do the weight painting, I don't know if it was an issue with some of the settings, or if I hadn't set things properly, but for some reason, it just, like, when I was painting for one bone, for, like, say, a part of the arm, it was just applying that to the geometry on the opposite side, rather than have the bone on the opposite side be attached to that geometry. I know that this is sounding very complicated, and I'm sorry that I can't make this sound any more simplistic than I am attempting to make it, because unless I'm trying to break things down completely visually, I am going to... Oh, good lord, help. Oh, gosh. I really ought to get myself a cup of tea. But yeah, no. Because it didn't do that, that was the reason why that I decided, yeah, I'm applying the mirror modifier so I can, do it this way. Because, I was having those problems. But looking at the player character, I didn't have the mirror modifier applied. I still had the mirror modifier live. Because if you remember, like, didn't see you alive until after I sent you a message, so we're gonna raid tomorrow. Okay, yeah, no. Because to be fair, Isaac, because OBS is open, I won't get those notifications popping up on my PC. They will appear on Discord, but I won't get the notification sound. So yeah, my brain is about to explode, and it's running at 1,000,000 miles an hour trying to figure things out. So we didn't have the problem with the rat character. I never had to. But next weekend we'll do Salvation's Edge. Anyway, but okay, see you, Isaac. Oh joy, Salvation's Edge. It's been a while. Anyway, so we didn't. So I've gotten myself turned around multiple times. I almost knocked a mug over. Anyway, so when you have a model that's like in order to prep using a mirror modifier, what you would normally do, you cut the object in half and you go from there. So you cut the object in half, you apply it, you add a mirror modifier, and while that mirror modifier is live, so when you don't click apply in the modifier settings, anything you do on the one side is just immediately mirrored on the other side. If you want, both hards to connect to each other properly, which, in turn results, like, in it being stretched if you move things outward, you turn on clipping and whatnot. If you want things to be separate, like, for a little bit, then you just turn off clipping until you're done with it. EBDBDBDBDBDB. Hello, heater. And then la-di-da-di-da, you just sort of go there with the model. However, the moment you click apply mirror modifier, that modifier is no longer live, so everything is just, the singular model rather than just, everything being mirrored. And I don't know why I experienced those. I don't know if it was due to, like, the bone hierarchy. It might have been due to the bone hierarchy that was causing problems. Who knows? Everything is properly. I get the feeling that things are not coming through. Oh no, it's coming through. The hierarchy of bones, yes. But yeah, no. I don't know if it was because of the hierarchy or because of how things were named. I need to review things between both the rat and also the knight and see, if there's any inconsistencies between the two, just to make sure that things can work properly. But yeah, no, I need to review this, because if I want to make sure that I can properly mark the seams for the object without needing to have the mirror modifier applied, so I have to do every part individually, then I need to sort out this issue. So, gosh. I fix a few problems, and then I experience another one. Also, one moment, chat. Oh, ouch. Anyway, back to Blender, because I need to run some checks. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go into the rat. I'm going to look at, so spine 1, spine 2, so it's lowercase, so it's .l. Lower arm.l, hand.l. So it is .l, everything is .l. If I go into weight painting, what's the weight painting setting? So we've got weight, so it's got mix, weight 1, strength, front faces only, stroke, dash ratio, jitter, symmetry. So it's not mirrored at all in any sense, and I don't know what the fuck happened with some of it. There's just some weird oddities going on with it, and I don't know how I managed that. Wait, it's armature, then that, then weight paint. There we go. And then... because that somehow worked perfectly. So... jitter unit, brush, symmetry, options, auto normalize, multi-paint. What is multi-paint? Maintaining their relative influence, workspace. So filter add-ons. So looking at, I mean, it most definitely could have been something to do with how, you know, like things were parented in the hierarchy for the armature. So, oh good lord, what is wrong with me? Good lord. Sorry about that. Let me think. Right, so looking at that, it's... oh, right, so I did things all uppercase, but it was all lowercase in the other project. So if I rename this to... so I don't rename, like, you know, the names themselves, but I change it all to lowercase. I know it probably doesn't matter if I do it, like, uppercase or lowercase, because, you know, it's all about the naming convention anyway, but I don't know why there's an inconsistency between the two projects. It's a bit odd. And that means I need to do the same with, like, all the clavicles and hand stuffs and whatnot. Wait a minute. Right. Yeah, I forgot how long this is going to take, considering that, to be fair, I could just select each individual bone rather than just going through the hierarchy. I don't know why I was doing that. Hand L, thumb L. Right, ads are starting. I'm going to keep doing this over the ad break, but we'll be back in a few short minutes, so hang on tight. We'll be back very shortly. I almost completely did not notice that the ad break was over. Welcome back. I reviewed another... So I got the renaming stuff done. I also reviewed another quick thing with the wrap model, just to make sure, you know, naming conventions with the feet were all up to snuff. So before... So I've renamed, like, the feet to foot on... Or the end of the feet to foot_2 for both sides. Originally, it was foot.l.001, which... No, it has, like, the wrong sort of thing at the end. But that's all sorted on that front. So, god damn it! I get the feeling I'm gonna have to fucking right. Sorry, chat. I go into object mode, select that, tab into edit mode. And I'm going to select... Oh, whoops. That ain't right. Oh, yeah, because it's not in... It's not in wireframe mode. And you know what we're gonna do again? We're gonna apply another mirror... We're gonna make another mirror modifier. Where are you? I am blind. Horribly blind. There we go. So, I'm not gonna save it yet. But... I'm gonna go back into object mode. Gonna... Select that. Go into weight paint. Oh my god, it fucking did it. Ah! And I didn't have to redo any of the weight painting. I just... Yay! All as it should be. That's great. That's brilliant. That's great. So I am going to save it. So... Now with this as it is, if I was to sort of do that la-di-da-di-da, that's funny, haha, you know, it's missing a half. Did I also... Oh, shit. That's not good. I'm gonna have to undo it and redo it. So instead of deleting the faces, what about edges? Okay, that didn't do what I wanted it to. That deleted all the vertices. That's not what I wanted. But for some reason, it keeps leaving these two vertices. Which is not what I want, because then it'll create some issues. So delete these vertices. Thank you. And then add the mirror modifier again. Just to make sure that this is all fine and dandy. And then back into object mode. Let's select this. Select... Oh. Go back into weight paint mode. Yep. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right. That is looking very good. Now, if I go back into edit mode, I'll leave it in edit mode. Go back into the rat character. I need to, you know, actually... God. Object mode, select mesh, edit mode. Because I need to see... Well, I need to take pictures of, like, how the seam has been marked. Just so I can refer to it on my phone. Here's the thing, it's not so bad if I look at, like... Okay. Or I haven't taken any pictures of it yet. I'm just taking a look at, you know, handiwork and whatnot. Wait, does wireframe mode show that? Oh, it does! Okay, there we go. I got what I needed. Ow. I can't believe... Also, I know it was 2 weeks yesterday. But yeah, no, I can't believe it's 2 weeks... Like, just about less than 2 weeks until the release of the new Tomodachi Life game. I can't wait. I'm so excited. A game that will have me sort of hopping on every day to check on like what's happening or try and be a bit more involved with the island compared to like the 3DS Tomodachi Life. So why is my one eye hurt? Ah, annoying. Ah. But now, I can't remember how to mark seams, so if I go into object mode, only select the mesh. Right. Now... So, go to edge select mode. Mark seam. Mark seam. Oh, wait. I did not mean to mark sharp. Mark seam. Right, Control E. Mark seam. Mark seam. And then mark the seam. Right, so I'm gonna mostly try and get done what I can with, like, the easier ones. So that is literally the easiest, like, seam marking that I'm gonna be able to do for the UV unwrapping. Mark seam. Right, so if I look at, it's this one for the arm, mark seam. Right. Huh. Right, believe. Oh wait, I should probably look at the rat and see how I did, like, the end of the lower arm for the marking the seams. Like, oh wait, no, that was exactly how I did it. Okay, then the hand was at the edge. Duh, 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 duh. I feel like it's going to be a bit different because for the like the hands on the knight, they're more gloves and I have the little things protruding out of the edge, so it's a bit different. Duh, duh, duh. Not mean to do that. gosh. Oh, ow. Now to review the video that I recorded of the model. Oh yeah, this back edge needs to be marked as well. That makes a bit more sense. Then mark seam. Right, so in terms of the head, right. Oh wait, no, actually, I don't know why I was so worried about, oh, this is going to be so complicated trying to get this sorted out when I have X-ray mode. I can easily do it like that. I can easily do it with X-ray mode. I don't know why I was so worried about it. But I am going to quickly pop to the bathroom, so I'm going to be back in a few short moments, chat. Right, I'm back. Cool. So anyway, I'll do the hand next. I won't worry about the head right now. But I'm going to do, as I said, I'm going to do the easiest ones first. And the hand is simple enough, aside from the fact that, as I said, you got the little bits flaring out from the gloves. So I'm going to have to figure out how that works. Hit this. Yeah, no. Now I know. Right. Now, this is going okay. You know, I may actually have to do this a bit. So I believe that's the seams marked for the hand. This may not necessarily be correct, at the very least for this setup of the hand, but I'm going off of what I feel like would work best. Right. Mark seam there. Oops. So that goes down, but I need to make sure that I am. So I need to actually zoom in to make sure that I'm selecting the right bones. And then Mark the seam. Still need to make sure that this opens up properly. Then we have the actual outside portion. I feel like... I'm not sure, because it's like mainly edges. There's no, you know, bases there, so I don't need to do the top part, but I'll mark along, like, basically same parts as, you know, the lower portion of the, like, the main leg. And then, of course, we'll have, like, this here. And then, to be fair, I made it seem like such a big deal in my head, but, you know, it actually wasn't too bad doing the seams for the legs. Now, the problem is the head. But then again, as I said, I can easily just zoom in to get, like, you know, the edges that I need to select to actually do, you know, the respective parts of the face and whatnot. Oh, gosh. Why is my right eye... Why is it just, like, hurting? I don't know. Like, it's not strained. It's just, you know, like, random, like, bits of pain. I don't like that. Reviewing, like, the portion of the head that I managed to get from the video. So I'm going to start off, mark this seam. Mark this one. Come on, select it, please. Thank you. Mark it. And now, considering, like, the front, okay, where is my brain in all this? It's right here. And now I need to do the equivalent on the outside. So take this one, mark it, 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 take this, mark the seam, take this, mark the seam, then take this, do it, and then finally, there. Oh wait, I forgot about this. I forgot about this edge. Whoops. I wonder if I should mark these two as well. Don't know. We'll see when we actually do the UV unwrapping. Now, as for this one, I have no bloody idea. I have no idea how I'm going to sort this out. Oh my. Right. Thinking. How would I want it folding out? I think trying to figure this out, it's a bit of a conundrum. It's... Whatever I did, I think that was edge crease. I think. At the very least, I reversed it. Now, I have no idea how this is going to look yet. To be fair, that doesn't look too bad. So if I was to only select the hand... I mean, of course, that's not going to, because I don't have wireframe on. But looking at the hand, that looks pretty good. Even though I get the feeling that that's, yeah. Not completely a perfect, but you know what? It's better than nothing. So... I think for the most part, the UV unwrapping might be sorted. It may not be perfect. Oh yeah, no, that's another thing I need to look into, and I keep forgetting to, and I'm just a bit forgetful. I need to properly look into this. Oh god, why are my eyes like this? Ah! Anyway, so with the UV unwrapping kind of sorted, because, you know, we've got the seams marked and everything, we'll be able to start, like, trying to texture things, but I am going to start that next time around, because, as I normally say, with, you know, these streams being roughly, like, 2 hours almost, I try to focus on a specific thing, and if I, you know, do a thing, get started, and then, you know, have to end in the middle of that, I prefer not to do that. So I'm going to call things there for today. So to everyone who showed up, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this. Oh, sorry. Thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Next stream will be on Wednesday. We'll be back with Dream Drop Distance Level 1. Oh my god, we'll finally be able to start attempting to finish the bloody game now. Jesus. But yeah, no. More on that when we get there. But yes, thank you ever so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you all again in the very next one. So until then, please take care of yourselves and have a good day or night, depending on where you are. Bye-bye!